Good morning, everyone. It is another day with the Crafty Bunch. We are live, and I am streaming in both Facebook and YouTube. And so, if you hear me making comments or answering any questions that you can't see where in the world are coming from, that's because they're in the other place. So anyway, I am glad to be here with you today, and we have got another fun day in the Crafty Bunch. We do Mondays, which is Crafter's Choice. And so a lot of times we have themes, but Mondays is Crafter's Choice, and so we always enjoy that. And you never know what kind of crafting that you're going to see today. So I'm Christy with My Artful Adventures, and I primarily do paper crafting. And so today I'm going to make some easy cards. Now, I was on the other day and did something very similar, and today we are going to continue that. I kind of did audience participation, and so we're going to use the other page that people did not. Well, some people picked it, but you kind of try to go with the flow and use whatever most people were wanting to use. So that's what we're going to do today, and they're just easy cards, and I like to make things easy and give you lots of tips, tricks, and ideas. And sometimes you don't have to make things really hard to to make something fun, or just have a little bit of creative time, and and have something useful too. So I like to do things that can also be useful, whether it's maybe it's scrapbooking, card making. You can have some home decor with paper crafts. So all kinds of fun things that you can do. So hello everybody coming in, and thanks for getting me sprinkled out there so we can have more friends joining us. So I see Cynthia and Janet's here. Mary, good morning. Melanie is up after I am. She's with Painting Crafty. Is that right? Yes. I don't know why, sometimes I know things and then all of a sudden it's like, is that right? But yes, it's Painting Crafty on Facebook. And Jeannie's Palette. So we've seen some really fun things this morning already. I think our presenters so far have been in 1 hour segments, and then I believe the rest of us are just going to be in 30-minute segments. So we are going to go ahead and get started today. And so let me move you down to the desktop here, and we will get going. I was ready to go a minute ago, and then I realized that I didn't have a view for the desktop, so I had to fix that real quick. That's never a good thing when you get ready. Hey Sue, how are you? So this is what we're going to be doing today. And a lot of times, and this is what I had talked about the other day, is a lot of times we get these real pretty pieces of a scrapbook paper, and it's like, well, what exactly am I going to do with that? And maybe it comes in a whole paper pack, and you get something like this, and it's not really something you might normally use. You like the paper, and you liked everything else. This is the flip side too. And so if we cut up this paper, we're going to be able to have something pretty on both sides, right? Look how pretty that is. So I made this guide, which I think is so helpful. We're going to make cards that are the A2 size, which is the 5.5 by 4.25 inch size cards when they're folded. And so I have actually sized this to be able to create a little border around the edge. We're going to take the solid piece of cardstock and cut it, and that will actually be the 5.5 by 4.25 inch. So it will cover the whole card base. And then this is why I've done this. Now I measured these off because to get 4 across on a 12 by 12, that already allows for that little bit of a border in the, whether you're just going to use the card back to make it look like a little mat, or if you want to do some other matting. So if you do 4, then you want to take another 1/4 inch off the other side, and so it's going to be 5.25. So I already, thought about that when I did this. This is just a piece of acetate. I had bought some of these, and I got them to make some of my own stencils. And then I really wasn't, it was a little too thin. I'd rather have stencils that were a little bit heavier than this, but it, you know, it'll work fine anyway. And so what I did was, and the reason I made this, instead of just chopping up my card, I wanted to see what was going to be the best, you know, way to do it. So to get that size, we're going to have a strip that we're going to cut off. And, you know, maybe even if your page was a little bit different, maybe you actually want to cut a little strip on both ends. And so I would just bump this up and have some hanging off. And, you know, and then I would just measure it. Maybe I only want like, you know, about 1/2 inch or 3/4 of an inch off of that end. And then I would be taking it off of the other end as well. But this just allows me to plan it out. So you can see if I were going to cut it this way, here's this unicorn down here, and I would be cutting off part of his head, right? And so then this would be on one part, and you know, that wouldn't be too bad, but I don't really want a card that looks like this on the side. So, you know, I'm like thinking, well, that's not going to work for me, right? I don't want to do it like that. I would rather have it to where I can get a better look. Oh, I forgot to, I can see some of the comments, but I want to make sure I can see everyone. So please hold. We'll get that going in just a second there. Okay. All right. I just didn't want to make, I didn't want to miss anything. And yes, I agree, Melanie. I think this is a beautiful piece of paper. So so, you know, in planning it out, then I can see that if I turn it this way, then I can get all of him in there. So if I cut my section off of here, I can do that. Or even if I want to, then I can see what it would look like if I cut it off the other side. And again, we've got him partly in both sections. So I don't really like that. So I want to, you know, make my plan to cut them over on this side. And so let's see. So that would be, so if you've got 5 1/4 and 5 1/4, I think that's like 10 1/2, right? Yeah, 10 1/2. So let's get out our paper trimmer and go ahead and trim this off. I guess I could have measured the short side, right? But now I need to flip it over because now I've got that stuck in my head that it's 10 1/2. So that works. Whatever works for you, whatever your craft math is, always use it. Okay, so we've got that strip. And be sure and save that because you can do something else with that. But like Cheryl was talking about earlier, you have to be careful with how much you're saving, right? What are you guys doing today? Are you having a great day? I hope so. So now let's just go ahead, and all we're going to do now is we're going to cut this at 5 1/4, and then we'll just chop these up into 4-inch sections this way. And then we've got all of our little card fronts, and we're going to go from there. And this is, I don't remember what this paper pack is called. I know it's from Crafter's Companion. They're a company out of the UK. But we do carry these papers here in the US. There's places that you can find them. So now all you've got to do, and let's go ahead while we're at it, and we've got our paper trimmer out, let's go ahead and cut our background pieces too. So these need to be 5 1/2 inches because I'm just going to go ahead and cover the whole base of my can't think today. I'm going to cover the base of my card base. Well, no wonder that didn't make sense. Oh my goodness. You guys have any great plans today? I am wondering what kind of wonderful plans you might have for today. It still seems kind of early to me today. I don't know why. Okay, and then 4 1/4, and then we are good to go. And so this way you can get 6 out of this one piece of 12 by 12. Oh no, I cannot get. Well, there you go. We were just talking about when a crafter makes a mistake. I can only get 4 doing it like that. Oh, I can't believe I didn't think about that. Anyway, so we're going to do 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. I can't believe I didn't think of that, you guys. That's okay though. I'm going to show you what it looks like even if we don't. Even if we were to just use the... Did I do that one right? Yes. I thought for a second I mismeasured. Oh my gosh. So Jeannie says she's watching the Crafty Bunch and painting. I love watching Jeannie paint and talk about what she's doing. Oh my goodness. Sue says she's going to be getting 34 stitches out of her knee today. I remember you said you were having that knee surgery. Oh my goodness. All right, so now we've got these. And we are going to... Oh, I should grab a piece of scrap paper, you guys. This will work. And I want to go ahead and put... And I'll show you. Well, let me get out a card base. I like to buy these. I buy these from, you can get them many places. I buy them from the kind of the value pack from Close to My Heart. And you get a whole wonderful pack of them. I thought it told on here how many, but I love them because the paper and the envelopes, I especially love the envelopes. Oh my goodness, if you need to write an address on one of those envelopes, it is just like buttery smooth, and I think I just love it. In fact, I'm kind of spoiled from some of those better things, and okay, so this one, did I not even get my 4 pieces out of that? No, there they are. Okay, so we got these for scraps. Okay, and if you want to, and this is kind of the fun thing about the Close to My Heart cardstock, is one side is lighter, so it's like you've got two colors in one. So I'm going to use this grape color here, and I'm just going to put a little color around the edge. And see how I like that. But this way I've got some floral on here. I've got something that kind of looks like, you know, water drops on here. And I didn't have to do any of this work, right? And some script. I love script on things. I really do. And so I'm just going to tap on a little bit of this. And I'm just going to put a little bit around the edge. And I thought this purple would be really pretty because it kind of, it really coordinates with that purple that's already in this page. So I like to just add a little bit of something. If you're just going to have that cut edge. How many of you guys like to do some inking of edges on things if you're doing some kind of paper craft? Oh, Kathy says she's going to buy dirt and flowers, or she's going to buy flowers and play in the dirt. I tell you what, you guys, we've got a garden that we planted. We had not done any gardening since we lived here in Texas. We live outside Fort Worth, and we had not done any gardening here. And so when my daughter had moved here, we decided that we'd never lived anywhere that had this long of a growing season. And so from what we could gather, there's actually kind of a couple of plantings that you can do. One in the spring, and then when you're not trying to grow a lot of things in the super hot part of the summer. And so then there's still enough time to grow a few other things if you do a later planting. So like very late summer, early fall. So we thought we would just start and try planting from seed and see how that would go. And so it was going really great. Then we had another cold snap, and then it wasn't going so great. And so we were just like, well, I don't know, I don't know. And she had really kind of just given up on a lot of the garden. And all of a sudden here, I don't know, when it finally started getting warm and we've had some good rains, and all of a sudden, oh my goodness, I looked out there. I can see it out from my kitchen window. And it was amazing what was, starting to grow. And even the things that she had given up on, they did leave their leaves, and she left their little sad stick of a plant still there. I think she really, I think it kind of killed her soul to have to go, take them out. And all of a sudden, those things are even starting to leaf out again. So we're anxious to see it. We've got tomato plants that have blooms on them. We've got some cucumbers that they're blooming and starting to make some, little cucumbers. We've got some squash, and she was laughing, saying, she told me it was yellow squash, but then she said she actually wasn't exactly sure what kind of squash it was. If it was, she knows they're going to be yellow. I just laughed. So we'll see. I'll let you know how that goes. Deborah says she's that's her favorite. Oh, she's gonna go play in some dirt too. Oh yes, Deborah loves doing that too. She does a lot of gardening. Deborah, do you mostly do? I know you grow vegetables. Do you do a lot of flower? Ornamental gardening as well. Okay, let's go ahead and let's stop there for now. We don't need to do all those. I wanted to show you a couple of really easy things. Oops, I forgot to grab. Hang on one second. I got to reach up here. Nope, that's the wrong one. I had a little container that's got some stickles in it. Oh, I didn't even think about using the gold one too. So since this has got a lot of gold in it, I thought this would be fun to add some, some other stickles on it too, and just kind of, add to what's already there. So we've got several ways that you can add easy bling for things, you guys. All you have to do, there are these brush markers that have like a liquid shimmery stuff. I'll say that. And so all you would have to do, give it a good shake, and then and then know how to open it. My goodness. There, it just pulls off. Let me zoom in a little bit more here so we can see what's going on. So all you do is you take this and you give it a shake. It's got little mixing balls in there, and then just give it a squeeze. And if you've ever used any kind of paint pens or anything, you know that you have to kind of give them a paint pens. You usually like press down and to kind of prime the tip, right? So with these, you just give it a squeeze, and then you can begin to see it coming down here. Now I already did that with this one this morning. I haven't used this one this morning, and so I don't know, it's been a while. Okay, so that's not really okay. So I'm just gonna shake that up. I don't know if we can see this one or not so well. We'll try. Yeah, okay, so this one, it's not, okay, I'm going to push it down. I'm going to squeeze it a little, and it's going to start coming down the tip. I don't know, it's kind of hard to see that, isn't it? I don't know where that thing is focusing. It's not focusing on that. Let me see if I can get it here. There we go. And you can see it's starting to come down. Can you see how it's starting to get shinier all the way down the little brush nib part there? And so that's all you have to do. And so I just always like to try it on something before I get started. And you just squeeze it periodically. You don't need to squeeze it too much. But that's an easy way to add some shimmer and shine on the edge of something. And so I thought it would be fun to try to put a little bit of this just on the edge. Now, I have never done this before, so we'll see how this goes, right? Oh my goodness. Okay. Yes, I know. Isn't that purple? I love that purple color. So I'm just going to tap it on here. So it's going to kind of give it like a little bit of a gilded edge. And so I thought this would be easier to do than trying to squeeze out the stickles. The stickles is like it's glitter and glue basically, but it's a thick gel, like so it's easy to put it on where you want it. But I mean, you could put on, now that's just a tiny bit, and you can see how that's starting to add that little bit of shimmer. But you know, I'm just gonna tap this all around the edge and maybe just pull it there. I was kind of wondered if I pulled it, if it would get to, oh, that's a lot faster. There, we'll just kind of tap some on to get it going, and then just pull it. Oh, that's pretty. And I am not going to add any kind of stamping of a sentiment or anything on these. I wanted these to just be easy. And I mean, you can buy, if you're in the stationery section of the store, you can find a box of greeting cards that doesn't have, you know, a sentiment on it. And for me, if I make up, now birthdays, you've always got birthdays, right? We all know people that have birthdays, and so, you know, to do birthdays, or if you send thank you cards, that's another great one to have on hand. Even something that says thank you. But you know, for that, I always find if I do a bunch of cards ahead of time and stamp some kind of a greeting, it's like I never have the right greeting on hand. So it's like, okay, which I mean, there's ways to deal with that. You can stamp up a bunch of greetings on little slips of paper and then have those ready to go. You can just do them on white, and then it doesn't matter. It goes with almost any card that you're going to make, right? Okay, so we've got this all on there. Now let's see. Let's put this back on. Ooh, I picked up something that feels sticky. So we're going to take one of our backgrounds here and put it on. And I want the dark side showing. And I thought this was such a pretty color to use with this as well. And even the back, I mean, I love the back of this paper as well. Now the back is plain enough that I kind of would want to probably use some kind of a greeting, I think. Maybe not. That would probably just depend on the way I feel at the moment. Okay. My goodness, we don't have very many people here this morning. I guess they didn't want to see easy cards. That's okay. We can't always have projects that take up so much time, right? I like to have something that's easy once in a while. And then I'm just going to lay this down here. Now, the size we cut it, it's going to be a quarter of an inch, or it's a 1/4 inch smaller. And so that means we've got 1/8 of an inch around the outside to use for like our little mat. Excuse me. And there we've got this little card with this little bit of, just this little hint of gold around the edge. And we could put some more shimmer on him. or the leaves. Oop, that's the gold one. And this is kind of fun because you can just swipe it on, and you've got this shimmer to your whatever you've applied it to. So I can add this on, and I don't even have to give it a lot of thought. And I'm just going to put it, I don't know, I think, let's just put it all over him. I think this guy deserves to be super fun, don't you? Just add a little bit of shimmer to him. And then let's take this gold, the gold stickles. I started to see if I could zoom in anymore, but I can't. And I'm going to, now one good tip when you're using these is to be sure and go ahead and squeeze out a little bit to make sure you don't get a big blob if there's some air, if you haven't used it in a while. And I'm just going to go ahead and put a dab of this on his little unicorn, his little horn. And there we've just added a little bit more. And that's all I'm going to do to this one. I know, and the stickles come in so many colors. That makes them really a fun thing to have. This one, I really like this, just this plain one. And this one is just called Diamond, because when you put it on top of something, it's just clear, but you get all of the, you know, the shimmer and shine of the glitter underneath to add to something. But see how the little shimmer brush, and this one is Wink Estella, and this gold one is a close to my heart color. And so it just makes it so easy to add a little something something onto a card, right? So there you have it. And we can do this on the other ones. Another thing I like to have handy, you can find packs of flat back, what am I trying to say? You can get all kinds of things that are like, I'm trying to pull them out here. You can get things that are like little rhinestones, and then you can put those on. And the same thing like this, you can get pearls and use those. And I have just a whole thing over here to the side that I keep full of all kinds of things like that, because I find I use those a lot. I just keep them in one of these bags, and I just found that it was just easier to put all kinds of them in here than, you know, because I use them all the time. And that's the thing, when you find something that you like to use all the time, then just, you know, put it in a place that's easy to get to, right? So let's see, let me see some of these other pieces. I loved some of these other, I love this one with the like the gold splotches. Let's see if there's one. I don't know, it's so hard, you guys. Look at these. These all have such pretty designs, and who would have thought that you would get that much use out of something that was a one piece overall design to start with, right? And so you can just keep, you know, putting these on. Let me see, I wonder how this light color would look on the back. Well, it would be okay, because it really gives so much I don't know, that doesn't look too bad, that side like that. But you know, some of the things that you can do is you can add, well, I guess is that upside down? No, the script is so odd. I thought for a second I had it upside down because of these flowers. Well, that does look upside down. Of course, if it was on a wreath, I guess it could have been going the other way. I guess you can do whatever you want to, right? You just put it on there and glue it down. But this way they're kind of all pointed down, but that's okay. I mean, you know, you make a wreath and you've got things pointing up and down, and it doesn't really matter. But anyway, my time is almost up, and we're going to go over and see what Melanie's got cooked up for today, see what kind of what crafty painting she's got. these are always fun days. I love to see what everybody has going on, and spend time with everybody for a quick inspiration for a crafty Monday, right? I will be back tomorrow. I will be on at, let's see, what time will I be on tomorrow? Let me look real quick. Tomorrow I am going to, I gotta see what day it is. Tomorrow I'll be on later in the afternoon. So at 4:45 Eastern time I will be on. So come and join me then, and we'll do something else crafty and fun. You guys take care, and let's go watch Melanie. Thanks. Bye-bye.